to this edition of Sticks and Stones. I am back. It's almost college football season. Got my Aggie gear on, and I need this one of those quick moisture wicking shirts. I definitely needed it because it was like 108 yesterday. That's terrible. It has been a long journey this summer. I did a lot of self-reflection, took some time off. Couldn't stay away. I love doing this. But I'm going to try and not be so serious about it. Be a little more, relaxed and everything, because we're just all here to have a good time, right? So this is now episode 1, season 4. I only got 42 episodes in season 3. Also, I have, if you hadn't been keeping up on social media, I have now migrated back to Spotify for my hosting, so you can go to Spotify and you can find the podcast there. I got all the episodes uploaded, worked out some kinks and everything with the Spotify people yesterday. All the episodes are there, Sticks and Stones. Go listen to some episodes. Maybe some you missed. Maybe some you just want to freshen up, I don't remember exactly what that was like. But for this inaugural season episode, season 4, episode 1, I have what I think is going to be a really great pairing. And I know for sure I like the spirit, and I have heard a lot about this cigar. It is the EP Carrillo Encore Majestic. I think it's going to be a great stick. I really like Carrillo's stuff. They put out some really good cigars. I tried the La Historia and the Allegiance, and I think there was a Pledge in there somewhere. So they got some really good sticks. But I am pairing it with Michters Small Batch US-1 Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Michters, in my opinion, it's a really good spirit. They don't do a whole lot of different things. They just kind of stick with their core, small number of offerings. But they do a really good job of it. I try to keep a bottle of Michters on the shelf all the time. It's really budget friendly, and it is a really good bourbon. Now, this particular bourbon, the company is Chatham Imports. It is the distillery is the Kentucky Bourbon Distilleries. It's an ongoing release. Get it anytime. There will be a link in the show description once I post the podcast, probably tomorrow, where you can click the link and go straight and take a look at the whiskey and maybe order it, have it delivered to your house. Also a link for the cigar, so you can order the cigar, have that delivered to your house. And I try to make it as easy as possible. Now, the spirit is 91.4 proof, so that's 45.7. That's a lot of math for a country boy. And it is a non-age statement whiskey. The mash bill is undisclosed. So, not exactly sure, but it makes it into the Kentucky Straight Bourbon realm, which means they have to have certain things right. Like 51% corn. We're just going to roll right on through it and glass it up right away. Like I said, we're just here to have fun. All right. Visually, this is it is a beautiful, beautiful color. It really puts me in mind of Maker's Mark. It's kind of got, it's a nice golden hue, but it's got a hint of red to it. And I really love Maker's Mark as one of my favorites. It's got nice legs to it, clings to the glass very well on the nose. You get a little bit of ethanol, not a lot, but a little bit. I get oak and corn. There's some other grains in there, but they're not enough for you to really pick it out. and I get raisins. It's very bright in the glass, and it seems to be very approachable. Okay, now, excuse me, on the palate. You do get more ethanol in the glass and the spirit. There is some alcohol burn on the sides of your tongue. As far as flavors, you definitely pick up the sweet corn. I get some like raw, unfiltered kind of honey and some vanilla. It's not overly complex. And you can definitely taste the youth in the spirit because it is a non-age statement. The finish is, it's soft and it kind of lingers. Still have a little bit in going on there on the palate, even after that last drink 30 seconds ago. And I get more oak and some pepper, like maybe a white pepper, and also a little bit of honey. As I said, it's got a rather soft mouthfeel, even though there is some burn on the sides of your tongue. It is, it's really a straightforward spirit. It is what it is, and I like it. So now let's move on to you can probably tell I'm a little out of practice. Not quite as smooth on my delivery as I used to be. But we're all just going to have a good time, right? Sorry. I should have done this before I started. I forgot about the ribbon. That is the EP Carrillo Encore Majestic. Now, this particular stick was rated a 96 by Cigar Aficionado, and it was the top 25 2018 Cigar of the Year. 96 rating is exceptionally high. I think there may be a 97 or a 98 out there, but once you get up to the 96, those last four digits, 96 to 100, you are in elite class right there. So now, the wrapper, filler, and binder are all Nicaraguan, so it's a Puro. This particular stick is a Robusto 5.375 by 52. It is a medium to full strength, and visually, it is just a beautiful, beautiful chocolate brown. Kind of a milk chocolate, not like dark chocolate kind of brown. But the banding, they did a great job of blending the banding with the wrapper color. It's kind of a rose gold. It's got a little bit of sheen to it here and there, but it does blend in really well. Just visually, it's a very appealing stick, even in the package. It's got tight, nearly invisible seams, very minimal veining, and a rather large double cap. Now, on the nose, I get chocolate, black pepper, hints of cedar, and kind of an earthiness. There's also kind of a sort of malty creaminess. Think like chocolate malt, vanilla malt, something like that. It's got that creaminess to it, but you can also pick up the malt in it. And some hints of molasses. So let's go ahead and unband it. And also, I don't think I mentioned this, but it is a box press, but it has rounded edges. I really like those. To me, the really square box press that's flat on the end, it's a little awkward when you're trying to smoke it. And I won't say anything about it being in your mouth because that's what she said, right? So All right, let's get this thing lit up. Something else. I'm just devastated. Somewhere over the last month, here at home, I have lost my Rocky Patel Envoy 5-torch lighter. I am just devastated. I love that lighter. You don't find many 5 torches around. And it was even though it was 5-torch, it was a butane sipper. I mean, you could light multiple cigars off one tank. It didn't take a lot. I hope all of you on the live on the podcast can hear me all right. I forgot to turn the volume up. It wasn't down a lot, just a little bit because of when the intro was playing. Now the wrapper is kind of almost like paper sack. It's got just a little bit of a rough on the outside of it. It's not like really smooth. I like that. And there might be just a touch of sweetness in the wrapper. I get a really nice kind of buttery creaminess. I get some caramelized sugar, some black pepper, and then a little more cedar, like in the nose. A little bit of black pepper on the retro inhale. I'm not a big retro inhaler, but, I want to make sure that I'm giving something for everybody. All right, let's try them together. That's what you're waiting for, right? Okay. Wow. The cigar, when I blended it with a sip of the Michters picked up kind of a rush of sweetness when it first entered your mouth. And that ethanol burn that I had talked about being kind of on the sides of your tongue probably cut it in half. It's amazing. Some sticks will do that. Some sticks are so good that they make stuff around them better. So it's kind of like how whiskey is the magic water for fun people, magic brown water for fun people. I really like this stick. They did a wonderful job. When I'm looking at the band, I don't really usually put a lot of stock into bands, but I'll hold this up and hopefully the folks on live stream can see it. It does have some very intricate artwork around the sides, and it's just a bonus, most people are just going to tear them off, throw them away anyway. So it does. It really, when you take a puff and immediately take a sip, the smoke makes the sweetness level ramp up a little bit and pulls down the ethanol burn. That's quality. It's a good cigar. Now, I got this cigar, and I can't remember exactly where I ordered it from. It's very rare for me to go into a cigar shop anymore and buy cigars. I have my affiliate agreements with some places, and so I just order from them and have it sent directly to the house. And this was actually it was a kit. It had a small wooden Spanish cedar box with a brass hinge lid, and it had 3 or 4 cigars in it, all of them different. This is the last one. It really gave you the opportunity to kind of try a good range of EP Carrillo cigars, and I enjoyed every one of them. Now I think this stick will run you somewhere around $12. I don't know, with Bidenomics it could be more than that now. But you know, we're all better for it, right? And the Michters, I really do like it. I do kind of catch some hints of maybe a little bit of citrus in there too. Just kind of lingering in the background. Keep you posted as we go along. And I'm just going to go ahead and go right on through. I would normally stop the podcast recording and just talk to you folks on live stream. But why not? We'll just let them enjoy the full Monty too. And if you joined us a little late, I have migrated back to Spotify for my podcast hosting, so you can find all the episodes on Spotify. It is caught up. This one will drop sometime in the next couple of days. But if there's any that you've missed or any that you want to go back and listen to again or anything like that, I did post several as I was uploading them. Just had to upload all the ones that hadn't made it to Spotify when I moved to Sprecher. But they're all there now. I had a little powwow with one of the gurus over at Spotify, and we got it all worked out. So far, very nice, just stacks of really nice white ash. The burn line is it's got a little slant to it. Generally, it's my lighting. So you've got a crack. That's not good. Crack in the wrapper. It's way back here in the back. Way back there. Now I have a large 600 count humidor. If you go to the YouTube channel, you can see the review. But it came with its own humidification system in it. You just keep pouring the distilled water in it. And I have a Govee, and I'm not an affiliate for them, so I'm just telling you all this. Just because now I did have an affiliate agreement with the humidor people, but the Govee it's a little puck. You just set it inside your humidor, and it's got an app on your phone, and it will tell you at any time what the humidity and the temperature is in your humidor, and I love it. I keep track of it. I do not let my humidity get below 69, and I try not to let it get above 73. Generally 68 to 72. But I think if it gets down to 68, it's already starting to have problems. You need to get that back up. And I got the Govee on Amazon. So it probably is if you go to the Sticks-n-Stonez one on Amazon. Because you can get the show on Amazon. It's the same site. I mean, it's on Amazon Music, but you can actually, if you Google Sticks-n-Stonez with a Z at the end, you will find the show. It's free, but you can click on it, and right there in the shopping app, you can listen to the show. And that's awesome. Anyway, I may have the Govee listed in there, linked to the people that sell it. So it's a very good tool for people that, like us, that want to keep an eye on our sticks. The next best thing from having a camera in there, which I may end up doing that, because I got to keep track of the lovelies now. This is a way to spend an afternoon. I'm probably 6 years from retirement. I'd be a whole lot closer to retirement if I could have made some money in the Cigar Spirit podcast thing. But anyway, about 6 years from retirement, and this is definitely a way I would like to spend my afternoons when that happens. Preferably at a beach. I'm not going to sit here and ascribe to any particular political party, but I will just make a broadcast statement. If anybody thinks putting a price control on a particular item or group of items is a good thing, no. Because then you're going to end up with price controls on everything. Because you can't control the price of one thing when there are prices of other things that go into the selling of that thing. Like food. People today think food comes from the grocery store. But you have to have trucks to deliver that food. The trucks cost money. They need, I've got a fly down here that won't leave me alone. They require lots and lots of diesel, forklifts, employees. It's kind of like I saw this once. It was a really good example, and it was like this rich guy gets off his private jet, and there's somebody there on the tarmac, and they're looking at the jet, and they're like, the price of that jet could feed a lot of people. And he said, the owner said, the price of that jet did feed a lot of people. The people that built it, all those employees, bought them food, paid their rent, all that kind of stuff with the money that they made from building this jet. All the components that went into this jet that came from all over the world. All those employees fed them, gave them housing, all that kind of stuff. And when you really think about it, you're like, yeah, it's very easy to take a micro look at something that really needs a macro look. We're getting close to the half, and I'll have another little update here. I always loved. You should Google this. It's on YouTube. You can find it. Milton Friedman talking about the pencil. It's from the 70s. Milton has been gone for 20 years, close to it, 15 or so. He was a professor and an economist, and he talks about everything that goes into the making of a pencil. And you're talking about a wooden pencil, the old-timey ones. And, you could buy a package of 12 for less than $1. And he would take one out, and he would say, you look at this pencil. He said, it's rather unassuming. There's nothing special about it. It's just a pencil. He said, but the wood had to be logged from a forest somewhere. The graphite had to be, however they get graphite, I don't even know. The paint that went on the pencil had to be made at a paint manufacturer. The brass that holds the eraser in place had to be made at a brass place or whatever. The rubber had to be collected from rubber trees over in Southeast Asia. And you start thinking about, that's a freaking pencil. But yeah, It takes a lot of stuff. You got to think about things logically. Sometimes you have to think a little bit outside the box because it's easy to say, it's a pencil, or yeah, you could feed a whole lot of people with the cost of that jet. Did feed a whole lot of people. I'll tell you, this stick really is a great smoke producer. It has also squared itself up from my lighting. It is a very nice, almost razor sharp burn line. Still have the nice stacks of white ash. I hate to drop it, but I know I'm going to end up dropping it on myself. That's usually what happens. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't like it when it all falls in my lap. Now, we'll go ahead here. We're about halfway. Always love how, especially certain cigars, not all of them. This one is kind of so-so, but there are some. I think the Rocky Patel 60 is one of them. That smoke will be held in that glass for so long, it's almost like it's part of the drink, Anyway, here at the half, the creaminess, I think, is kind of pulled back a little bit. I know it's just like I'm over here rambling about stuff, and then all of a sudden but I am paying attention to what's happening. But the cream is kind of pulled back some. It's not kind of that as much buttery creaminess now. But there's been the addition of a little bit of a kind of a oakiness, not Oklahoma, oak, the tree. And you pick up kind of like dry tea leaves, if you take and you smell the little tea pouches that you make Lipton. It's kind of got that on the palate, and that's been added to the kind of the caramel sugary sweetness. And I think I mentioned it earlier on in the stick that there is kind of a citrus component to it now, and it is almost like candied oranges, I guess. Something like that. That would probably be about the best way I could describe it. Hang on, like I said, it's kind of hot out here. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday it was like 108. I think today it was only in the upper 90s. It cooled off. It does get hot in Texas in late July, August, early September. I do think these two are still going together pretty well, but I do think that the complexity in the spirit or in the stick is really helping to support the more straightforwardness of the Michters, because if you remember, or if you had joined us after, the Michters really didn't present a real complex kind of profile. You got some oak, a little. Let's see. You got a little bit of oakiness, but it was predominantly kind of a sweet corn, which is a bourbon, 51% corn, can't be called bourbon. And then I got kind of a raw, unfiltered kind of honey, and then some vanilla. And that was basically it. So it was a really narrow, straightforward kind of bourbon. I wouldn't want to. I like it, so I wouldn't want to maybe try and pigeonhole it and say there wasn't a lot to it, because there was, but it's very specific things. So I do think the complexity, all the different flavors in the Sticks profile are kind of helping the Michters along, and I think they're being married together really well with the vanilla and the sweetness in the spirit with the chocolate and the kind of caramelized sugar sweetness in the stick. And now you have this kind of candied oranges kind of thing going on. You know, it's a lot happening. So, now I will say, this is a fairly rapid burn. We lit maybe 5 minutes into the show, something like that. So that'd be we've been smoking for like 26 minutes, something like that, 25 minutes, and it's not going to last a whole lot longer. And I know I had that one crack in the wrapper back near the heel, and I just kind of stuck it back with Mama's glue. You know, anytime you needed your hair put down or anything like that, dirt rubbed off as Mama. I still pick it up here. Right here. But it hasn't gotten any worse. I don't think it's that the wrapper was dry. I was struggling to try and get everything out here. I was trying to get everything out here in one trip, and I ended up with something, maybe this, that was pushing against almost in that exact same spot. So I may have damaged it myself. So I won't withhold any points for that. And I would definitely like to invest in a box of these. This is a really good smoke. It's a really good smoke. To be a medium to full strength cigar, it's a really good smoke. And honestly, I think you could, somebody that has, started off in more of the Connecticut light colored cigars that are, generally a little less strong, have a little less strength. I think this could be a cigar you could step up to very easily. I mean, it's burning at a really good pace. It's got a really good burn line on it. Great flavors. I mean, we'll have this one wrapped up in a few more minutes. So, there's so many cigars out there that you may not want to light that one because it's going to be, you're going to have to commit an hour and 15 minutes to it. You may not always have time for that. But if you got ones that burn a little faster, and a lot of that takes, it does take a lot of time, smoking cigars, kind of paying attention to all those things while you're usually doing something else, like talking to your audience or sitting in the cigar shop, BSing with your buddies. More news you can use. Speaking of smoking with your buddies. There is a state legislator in Florida that apparently there is a ballot, a measure on the ballot to down there to, I guess, legalize cannabis. Now I think it's medicinal only, but anyway. And so this guy has said, well, if that's going to pass, I'm going to introduce a measure to make smoking in public, period, against the law. And I'm like, so that means if smoking in public is illegal, that means you can't even go out to the smoking area and smoke. There would be no more smoking areas because you couldn't smoke. And technically in public, that could be considered your front porch. It's in public, right? You never know how these politicians are going to come off. Sorry for the doorbell ringing in the back. probably Amazon or FedEx or something like that. Good Lord, this fly will not leave me alone. And it's not that it's doing anything. It's just like trying to land, and so you keep feeling it here and there. And I don't have trying to be professional, I don't have a fly swatter. Y'all need to, when you go out and listen to some of the episodes, leave me some comments on them. Let me know what you think. I'd really like to. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of the last ones that I posted, somewhere between 36 and 42, that there's actually a poll on Spotify. You know, did you like this episode, or would you want to try this? I think it was, would you want to try this combination? And it may have been the Macallan Sherry Oak 12-year episode. I really enjoy Macallan. It's a great Scotch. Macallan is the lady on Fox News. Yeah, the Macallan. It's a really good Scotch. It's probably one of my favorites, but the Dalmore 12, that's my favorite. I've tried the 15-year-old. I've tried the 18-year-old. I think the 12 years better, and it's a much better price point. I may have got him that time. Sorry, I had to go a little overtly, not covertly, overtly. Just had to do it. But yeah, leave me some comments, especially on this one, and let me know if you kind of like the new format where I'm just up here just, saying whatever I'm thinking, while I'm also, giving you some little tidbits of information. Before, I was just strictly come on, talk about the spirit and the cigar and cut it off. It was all about that. But I enjoy it this way a little more. So, glass is almost empty, and we are getting close to being down to the band. Getting real close. And I'll be able to go back inside to the air conditioning. Whew. Excuse me for a moment. That was good. Dr. Pepper, zero sugar. Starting to get warm under my fingers. All right. That was a really good pairing. I think it is hot. In the last half, kind of the buttery creaminess kind of made a comeback into the stick. It kind of pulled, back forward again. So it never really completely left. It just kind of went into the background. These two did pair pretty well together, but I might have done better with maybe a maker's mark, maybe even a 46. I don't know about cask strength or something above 100 proof. I think that would have started kind of overtaking the cigar, but I do think maybe a maker's 46 might be a really good pairing. Also, Four Roses small batch, that would be another good one. Or if you wanted an age statement whiskey, Eagle Rare, 10-year-old. I've got 2 bottles of that on my shelf right now. I love Eagle Rare. I just kind of thought this would be a good matchup, and like I said, it was. But I do think that the cigar had to kind of help the spirit along a little bit when it came to the matchup. So, Michters is good. I just think I could have done a little better in my pairing, but I'm, a little rusty. And did you see it? It came in for like a suicide dive. I swear. Okay. I would give the stick, I'd give it a 94. Cigar Aficionado gave it a 96. I'm not quite as highbrow as they are over there. So, but I do follow their lead. If they really like something, I'm probably going to really like it too. But it was an excellent stick. Excellent stick. A great way to start off season 4. The Spirit, I would give the Spirit a 90. It's a solid bourbon. And they've been around a long time, 1750s, something like that. So it's definitely one that you could keep on your shelf because there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't feel like it and this cigar married up as well as I would like them to. I keep Michters around, and you should too. It's a really good spirit. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I have enjoyed getting back here together with you. If you came in on the end of it, it'll be posted in a couple of days. You can go back and listen to all of it. And I would be happy for you too. And as I said earlier, there will be a link in the podcast to go look at the cigar at JR Cigars and look at the Michters at Total Wine. And you can just click on the link and go straight over there, and you can order and have it sent to your house in most circumstances. So I will be looking forward to getting together with you all again. But until then, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold, and have a great day. I was born in a flood, made a mess in the mud, nothing left.